morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. I want to know, what would you do? Say, I want to know if you see the video on the screen here, another black woman gone, a mother of 8, thought of as great. Now she is gone. Do y'all think it's Tyrone? So I want to know if you were in this situation, it was your family member or friend. I want to know, what would you do? Would you take on 8 children? You want to keep them all together, that's what people say. I want to know, what would you do? Would you take on 8 children? Now, we already know in the BC, more than likely it's, husband, more than likely no, it's a baby daddy. More than likely it would be the man. Now, it could be something just totally random, but more than likely, I'm willing to bet it might be a baby daddy, because in the BC, one thing can get you got when you have children by a dust bucket, a low performing man. Little things like, oh, get a job, I need you to go, or child support. Those are words, statements that can get you gone real quick by a dust bucket Tyrone. Hands down, no doubt. So, few comments here. Again, we're on ATC about those comments. Hannah says, this is tragic. And yes, I do think it's Tyrone. Girl, you and me both. I'm legit terrified to see what the black community is going to be like in 20 years. All these kids already without fathers. Now, also having their mothers taken out too. The trauma is immense in the BC. I agree. That's why I say, when you find these suspects that are doing this, you're basically looking at a black man that child might as well work for the Klan. Cam Morris said, this is so sad on so many levels. A mother dead and 8 kids that need to be cared for, especially the twins. Like you said, simply said, either the sister died by a baby daddy or it was random. Either way it goes, we've got 8 kids here. Somebody needs to, I guess it'll be the grandmother. Mommy Bear says, 8 children, we need help in this community. Yeah, we need to also get a hold of the thinking process. We need to also stop carrying the seed of poverty D. Kid you not. Beautiful Stranger said, I used to live in the area where she's from for a few years, and I remember meeting women and trying to get them to understand that raising kids in that city wasn't what they should want or have to do. I honestly wish this young lady had the opportunity to move away entirely from that place. She and her kids could have had a thriving life outside of that dangerous area. I'm praying they find out who did this. It's so heartbreaking. Here's the thing, though, and thanks for your comment. Even if she lived in another community, the fact remains, she's obviously carried the seed of poverty D. She's a mother of 8. Life was going to be challenging no matter where she went. I'm sorry, it was going to be challenging because there are 8 children. So this Zaddy got to be involved. Has to be. You could be a neurosurgeon and 8 kids on your... You're going to see the effects of it. Decisions that we make, we have to be careful how we move. So call_me_chi2000 says, it's reckless to have this many kids in this day and age unless you're wealthy. Number one, it's highly unlikely that wealthy people are going to do that, and I agree. Because you already know the trajectory that lifestyle will bring. Single parent, let alone a single parent of 8. If she says, if the mom dies, those children should be able to go to their father, even if mom and dad aren't together. Exactly. But we're dealing with seed of poverty D, low performing men. Grandma shouldn't have to take this on. When does a cycle end? 8 children is no accident. Yes, it's not an accident. And grandma takes it on. And who's probably on a fixed income. And Lightning Below says, being placed with the fathers would probably be detrimental to those poor children. These poor kids born now just don't have a fighting chance. And that's the downside. You're thinking he's just taking responsibility, but then the downside is this. It might be detrimental to those poor children. So who are we having to, who are the ladies laying down with? Who are we carrying the seed of poverty D? That's the other downside. You got Dusty's now trying to kidnap babies, don't know why. Don't forget they had the other Dusty, the woman. She mentioned child support, go to meet with them, and what happened? You already know what happened. They found that child was drowned in a car seat. Drowned. He threw the baby in the river. So the question is, you can't win for losing. The only solution is not to have children by poverty D. That's the only solution that I can see. Don't have children by them. Hannah says there are people who have that many kids these days, but they have resources and community support. The Hasidic Jews, the Amish Mennonites, they have strong communities though. This is not for people in the BC. Exactly. First of all, we don't have a community. We have a hood. And support, are you kidding? The support will go to the Dustinas and the Dust Buckets. Leah Jones says, in my opinion, any children outside of marriage and some form of wealth is reckless. Wow. Powerful statement. Leah Jones, thank you. Let me tell you something. We're not ready for the conversation. You will be attacked for just saying that. We're not ready. S. Wyman said, agrees. S. Wiseman, one of my day ones, so glad you're still here, says facts. 100. I used to live in an Amish community. They have support. Google, look how the Amish live. Google their wealth. Again, sympathy for the BC. Sympathy for the BC is running kind of low. AH says the daddies are never around for these children. No, they have created them and just abandoned them. Mr. Desire Independence, the fathers probably are not in the picture and don't care to be. If they're not there when she's around, what's going to happen when she's in the ground? They don't want the responsibility. The fathers are not there. Why? Because they don't care. Real talk. Indigo Moon says, yeah, my sympathy declined when I heard the 8 kids. And we all know she didn't leave anything behind to provide for them. We also clearly know there's multiple Dusty fathers involved. I only feel sorry for the children and grandmother. Leaving the children behind for someone else to come and fend for them. But that's the norm. M says the grandmother shouldn't have to take care of all those kids. Exactly. I agree. Where are the baby daddies? They need to come get their kids and take care of them. This mess is unacceptable. And, we're talking about a death here, but I'm going to be real with you. She's right. It is a mess for somebody else to clean up. Because you know why? Somebody has to rearrange your life. And you already know in this community, we're not sitting on trust funds. Trust and believe that. So now somebody has to rearrange their lives. In situations like this here, I have told you, I've seen it. And you look up, you'll have one black woman, one kid, divorce would happen. I told you about it before. She's putting her kid through college. Boom, here come 4 dropped on her. Where baby daddy at? Where is your $50 billion liability at? And number one, who is having kids by? That's why I said before. And I know people, I've had someone tell me, nobody gonna do that. That's crazy. I said before in videos, when you find yourself, you have women like this in your family, especially if they knocking on your wallet, it's time to have a conversation. Okay, girl, you need help with diapers, you need help with this, that, and the other. It's time to have a conversation. It's time for you to get some life insurance because you're dealing with Dusty. Oh, we ain't trying to hear that. Oh, you're not trying to hear it until something like this happens. Then let's see. Maybe the idea simply says saying life insurance is not so bad after all. And don't forget, based on her lifestyle and income, let me tell you something. Ain't nobody. You have to be careful. They may not qualify for a decent paying policy. A mother of 8, what she do for a living? You can't be sitting up here. Oh well, she made $30,000 a year, and they finna hand you a $500,000 policy. It might be adverse. And plus, they already know, it's a black woman, baby mama. You think they don't know how we operate? Think again. Years ago, when they were building more prisons and schools, I thought, oh man, that is racist. I really thought that was racist. No, it could be, but also could it be a possibility that they saw the trajectory of the black community and saw what was needed? Something to think about. Scratching Wind Boom says, you think this lady chose stand-up men to have children with? Nope. But now somebody's supposed to sit up here and stand up with their wallet and raise these kids. Kara Washington Smith says, you ain't never lied. Those men need to come and get their children, but we know they will not. Exactly. They're not there because they don't care. Afros and Afro Sheen says, wouldn't be surprised if the twins is the culprit. Oh, yeah, the last baby daddy, child support. I'm going to put you on some child support. Those are words that'll get you murked. Double child support, a motive. The twin, that might be it. Definitely. Please stop having so many kids without getting the ring on it. Because of her decisions and the shooters, your family members are now burdened with taking care of your children. And that's the one thing we don't want to face it. Oh, you're gonna be blessed taking care of 8 kids that I didn't put her. That's not a blessing. And we can lie and pull on this church put this little church front up. That's the reality. It is a burden. Imagine somebody right now knocking on your door, dropping off 8 kids. Rosa Orchid said, Dusties don't want kids. They've been saying this over 3 decades now, but the women still keep having them by them. And I'm with A. Patty again. A grandmother should have to deal with those male seeds. Drop them off somewhere in foster care. Whoa, she answered, well, here's her answer. I know I wouldn't do it. Ooh, IDC. I think that means I don't care. But that's what you're asking somebody to basically, because of someone's decision, she decides to have the children by these Dusties. Now you're asking somebody else to come and rearrange your life. Oh, hey, this happened to so-and-so. Can you take them in? You take 4 and I take 4. You're asking somebody else to just change their life because of you. Do you see the negative and domino effect of dealing with Dusty behavior, Dustinas and Dusties, dealing with them? How their decisions can affect yours can affect somebody else's life if you let them. You got to make decisions for you. So A. Patty already said what she'll do. Foster care, here she comes. Wow. Here we have the Noisy says, I think it's a bit unfair to call the grandmother a step-up queen, because in this case, it's not like she's choosing to more than the tragic circumstances forcing her to. But see, that's the whole thing. The grandmother is the step-up queen. Most Black women are. You get bullied. Well, somebody got to take care of those kids. She doesn't have a choice. Unless she decides to say, hey, I can't do it. I can't do it. So she's the step-up queen. Black women are always stepping up. Somebody make a mess, stepping up. A Dusty mess up, step up. A Dusty get him pregnant. Dusty gets the daughter pregnant. What is she doing? Well, it's her daughter got pregnant by Dusty. What does she do? She step up queen. Her man not working, she go get 2 jobs. Step up queen. The choices that we make. And she's not forced to. She may have to say, hey, you know what? I can't take on 8. And I hate to tell you this. People go, oh, you should have. Oh, you can't do that to family. I've already seen that with a woman taking on 7 of her daughter's kids. Honey, you got me twisted. I told her when it came to the first 2 and she dropped them off, that would have been it. I've already seen what it can do. You know what it can do? Forcing her to, yeah, it forced her out of 2 homes. She lost 2 homes. And they were stacked up in a hotel and about to get put out of there. So I hate to tell you, some families will try to bully you into it. But Patty is right. And it's like, dang, but where's she at? Oh, she's still sitting up on a little Section 8 thing. Oh, okay. Diva Kika. Hey, girl. She says, my niece is 31 years old. Lord, 10 kids. She says, I don't know why women decide to have so many children. It's not fair. Yes, it's not fair to the children or the grandma to have to take on all those children. I'm sorry. I'll be splitting those children up. I'm telling you, if she's a Dusty, that's why when I see Dusty, be it male or female, I don't want it near me. Keep it away, long handle spoon. We got a family member dealing with that. Check the check money always scarce. Why somebody else's decision? So yeah, we see what Diva Kika would do. I understand. Carmel Damsel Noir said, I have a cousin who is 37 with 10. Girl, stop. And pregnant with 11. None of her children, except for 2, have the same father. So why would something happen to you, the decision that you made have to be an adverse effect on somebody else? Lord, we hope 11. Lord have mercy. Yolanda Marker, girl, appreciate you as well. Everybody appreciate you guys. She's a lot of times the first one hit the video. Thank you. Yolanda Marker, girl, stop. She says, my niece is 37 with 9 children. Only 2 share the same father. Again, when something happens to women, like in this video here, other people having to pick up the tab. Is that fair? Is that fair? Wow. Unbelievable. We may have to do part 2. And Miss Desire Independence said the grandma will not be getting child support for those kids. She may need a lawyer. She may even have money for a lawyer. I'm thinking Zaddy. It better be one of those pro bono attorneys. It better be one of those pro bono attorneys. I can't see any other way. So, Smartana Jones said that this is so sad. Yes, the financial implications definitely complicates the situation. But no one hardly talks about the emotional, the mental, and physical toll children take on you, especially if you're a single mom. It's really a whole lot to handle for 2 people, not to mention by yourself. But women are choosing this. I have wanted a child, and though she wasn't a mischievous child, rearing her still took a whole lot out of me to the point where I decided I just wasn't going to have any more. I let one dusty man get over on me, but I made up my mind that I'll be damned if I allowed another one to impregnate me and leave me to fend for myself and the child. Also, though there may be more than news clips that wasn't shown here, I heard them talk about everybody trying to help take care of the kids, except the man or men who brought them into this world. Just sad all around. Exactly. We already know how these dust buckets operate. We already know how they operate. We already know how they operate. So again, what would you do? Everybody got to take on the responsibility of this. And I'm with Lead Pat. The trauma is so severe. Everybody has to take on the responsibility of this. Wow. I want to find one comment. I got to say this right here. Enlightenment Below says, I think you have a point. Economic segregation has never died. The way the economy is going, poor people are just going to be poor and not able to make it in general society. I heard somewhere 80% of indigenous people live below the poverty line. But I can totally see that happening in the large number of Black people. Okay, now, what he just said, the poverty line. So what if you're barely making it, okay, and you're doing okay? Then here comes somebody knocking on the door. Why? As Kay McLeod said, too many owl and too many men in the community don't take care of the kids. Me personally, I would never give birth 9 times. Okay, so this person who gave birth 8 times, some 6 and on and off. Somebody did 10. That could put you in poverty. I hate to say it. It could put you in poverty. So what do? Do you put yourself in poverty because of somebody else's condition? Where is all this, oh, you're going to be blessed. You're going to be blessed. Where is that at? Because I'm sorry to tell you, I'm just going to be realistic with you. I'm going to be realistic with you. Where's the blessing? Again, I've already seen one with 7. She lost 2 homes. Celeste Deans says at Carmel, Downs in the Wall, are they impoverished? Heck, if you're not, you will be. So do you transfer for the Section 8 housing and SNAP benefits? You might not qualify. That's work. So I'm going to end it on this one here. Girl on Fire says, 8 children. Where is the father? This is crazy. She said, if I were the grandma, I'm sorry, but those kids will be put up for adoption. Nowhere in hell I would take care of that many children. And I hate to tell you, I understand. I'm not going to sit in line to you and say, oh, I'm going to go ahead and take in 8. What would you do? People say, oh, you just take them in. What's going on behind closed doors? Seen the price of food lately? Price of gasoline? What about going to school? What about the behavior problems? Some kids act right, some kids don't. How they behave? How are they being real? What's before them? That's a whole lot to take on. So yeah, I just want to know. You tell me, if you're in this situation here and it is presented to you, would you take on 8 children? That's a tough job to do, but so hey, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Feel free to like, dislike, share, what have you. But please subscribe, and if you will hit the notification bell, I'd appreciate it. Stay safe. Be aware. You already know it's a lot of dust out there, and I'm out.